direction. Okay, so I'm gonna try to put on my not for me hat, but judge it from what it's supposed to be. You know how we've talked about that before?
That's fair.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you.
Because it's not for me.
It's not for me.
It's really not. Yeah.
Like if I can be honest, like right out of the gate, I got more enjoyment out of the Barbie movie than this movie.
Really?
I think the Barbie movie was better than this movie.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
But we didn't get like a huge speech in this movie.
No. You know what I mean, though.
Can't do anything right.
Having like a weird, clearly woman-powered.
I think I had. Yeah, that's probably fair. Because like all the Ken stuff was really fun.
There's like a lot.
There's nothing in this movie that was like, God, that was so good and so fun.
That's what I mean. Like I guess if you're a huge fan of the Broadway show, and we've talked about this off camera, I feel like it's a lot easier to make a movie into a musical than it is to take a stage musical and turn it into an actual movie.
Yeah, agreed.
And we've examples. Cats is a recent example.
Sometimes it works though.
Sometimes it
like
does.
Little Shop of Horror is a great movie, like the Rick Moranis one.
True.
It is. It is.
It is, and I'm not saying this doesn't work because all the fans are going to come at us and kill, and try to kill us and dox
Fuck
us
'em.
and kill them all.
Fuck 'em, we hated your movie.
Rocky Horror Picture Show was also a good one too.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying
It's like-
it doesn't always translate
like a
to me.
hit.
This
I think I
same.
enjoyed this more than Rocky Horror Picture Show as a
really?
movie. I do not like Rocky.
It's
Horror
a
Picture
weird.
Show.
It's
Very
very.
weird.
I'm very uncomfortable every time I watch it.
Yeah, I don't know if
not
I'd say
that
I hate
movie.
it. I definitely feel it's weird. Like I go put it in its own corner.
This
But
movie I
this-
have no interest in seeing ever again.
That's
And
what I
part
was
2
gonna
comes
say.
out, but it's like going to explore all of Wizard of Oz and then just end where Wizard of Oz ends. So it's like she dies.
And again, we're people who haven't seen the musical,
No.
so when you're like, they don't get it. It's like, well, maybe we don't.
No, clearly we don't. Yeah. I don't want to. I don't want to get it.
I will say this: as far as if you're into a musical, you're gonna probably like it. There's
Yeah.
75 added songs.
They crushed it.
Like everybody
They both
sounds
crushed it.
fine.
Yeah. The world looks great.
The world looks
The
amazing.
dance moves are fun. That library scene when they're like going in the big circle
Yeah.
guy, like the hamster
Yeah.
wheels.
No, there's like the movie
pretty
looks great. I think we
creative.
pissed
Yeah.
Tony off because he's
Yeah,
a
we
musical
did.
guy. He's like, I'm out of here.
Don't get me wrong, I'm a musical guy too, but I just like.
Do you know Wicked though? Do you know the show?
Like, have you seen the Broadway?
I have not seen. Like,
I've never seen the show.
I just seen like bits and like pieces.
Okay.
Like, I like the
It's just
story concept.
Yeah, the
like,
story
let's give a
concept is good.
backstory to why she was the way she was.
Yeah.
But it'd be a better movie than a musical. I feel like if it's a musical, you're just adding extra shit that we don't need. I'm like, everybody gets a song.
See, I
Every
would
single
almost
character
taken
gets a fucking
I would have
song.
taken the musical side of it. I would have made it in a movie, not added songs. Kept the original songs Disney style, and then tightened
Tightened it
tighten 2.5 hours.
This movie
nice.
did not need to be
Doesn't
2
need
hours
to be
and
5
40
hours
minutes.
long.
And it
But
felt
like part 1 and
every-
2, it's going to be 5 hours.
Yeah. It's like Lord of the Rings.
That's a lot.
Yikes.
It's like Fellowship Extended Edition isn't even as long as this
Right,
movie.
and I feel like the problem with this is the added songs and the added scenes.
Do you know what the added songs were? Because I don't know the original
Only a
musical,
couple
so
because everyone that I know likes that.
Defying Gravity and Popular are like those are the two that
But
everyone
things just
talks
felt
about.
added. Scenes felt added just to fluff the runtime. Like
Yeah.
I love Bowen Yang from SNL.
Yes, perfect.
He's not even in the musical, and he was added to this movie. So that
As,
right
like,
there,
friends,
as like
her
as
friends,
the best,
her lackeys.
right?
Ah.
So I'm like already.
Weird.
You're like, okay, how much did you add to pad this out?
A bunch apparently. They had
See,
to.
that's
have.
my issue. Is it takes 45 minutes of screen time to move sometimes some of those scenes along. Like they get into a scene and it's just like
Just drags.
And there's like no motivation for like,
Yeah, like-
Glinda and Elphaba becoming friends, and then
there's also no
there's no motivation from them even beefing in the first.
Yeah, I was gonna
place.
say there's no real enemy motivation.
The only
either.
enemy motivation is they have to room together.
Right, and one thinks she's perfect and one is
And
green.
Glinda has a bunch of bags that take up the whole room. So then Elphaba gets mad.
You can't
And
get,
then
like-
they go right into the loathing or whatever that song
Mm-hmm.
is, you know, and they're like, we fucking hate each other. I'm like, you just met. You have no reason to hate each other.
It's weird.
Like, Glinda only thinks she's perfect, but she's not, and it's finally somebody, like, checking her on that. And that's why she's mad. But then they make up, and then they're best friends.
But the relationship
It's
is
like-
really weird, which I get it's probably the musical and everything, but like they're friends, but the tension is there throughout the entire. They like clearly hate each other. They're fake best friends. Because the
But
second,
not even after that dance scene, after, like, they bond with, like, the little dance or whatever, and, like, she gives her the wand. Like, then they're like, now we're besties. Now we're best friends for life. Can I call you Elfie? Can I call you a nickname? Like, you just had a song about how you loathe
weird.
each other.
Yeah.
I've never said I loathe somebody.
Glinda never feels like she likes her though. Like even towards the very end when
I feel like
when the
she
decisions
does,
are being
though.
made, like she's getting dragged along.
True.
Almost like, no, let's just stay here and you be the bad guy. It'll be great. And she's like, no.
Yeah, but that's only because it's like she just wants what she wants to.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're friends, but she cares about what she wants more.
It's weird because the original Wizard of Oz movies, though, I know you don't get a lot of Glinda backstory, but they present her as this perfect, wonderful.
Glinda's in Wizard of
She
Oz
comes
for...
down in a bubble.
Right, but she
2
comes down in a
minutes.
bubble and she's like perfect. It's like, oh, Glinda, the good witch, she's so great. But like then you see her here and she's like kind of like
They
a
do
stuck-up
that at the
asshole.
beginning of this movie. She shows up in the bubble to Munchkin Land. By the way, all the Munchkins are normal height. They're not short.
So they're basically
not
me.
little people. They're all short kings.
I was going to say it's weird. They do this effect where they're a normal heighted people, but their clothes are, everything is exaggerated that gives them this small effect, but they're not small. I know
the SpongeBob guy at the school is like as tall as
it's
Ariana
weird,
Grande.
but he looks, if he's by himself, he
True.
looks like a munchkin.
It's weird.
It's
Maybe
weird
that's
the
like
way
a
the
scaling
costume.
issue.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Mm,
But like the movie
They could
starts
have
with
sent me like an email or something.
yeah.
They could I could have got an email. I get no calls, nothing.
No
JJ
callback.
Pass from Munchkin Land. They spend a lot of time in Munchkin Land. The
See?
whole
There you
beginning,
go.
the first 10 minutes of this movie is Glinda telling the Munchkins like,
This-
"You knew the witch, right? You were friends."
And no more questions.
Yeah. God.
No, I want to explore the world.
I love the world.
Lord of the Rings style.
The world is awesome.
Like people shit on the Franco one.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. It's not perfect, but
solid. It's solid.
I like the world. Like I don't know. Give me the world. I don't
Yeah.
need to focus in on all this extra stuff that doesn't like. What did they gave us like crumbs without giving us anything? Like what is this university? What like
Shiz University.
it's called the Shiz.
What does that mean? Is that what it was called? Has it always
It's
been
got to
called
be that. It has to be. But like the magic
Shiz
thing.
warts, you know?
The magic thing they play with, but in a weird way.
Which thing?
Magic in general.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
with the wizard who doesn't really know magic, but there's a book, and then like, oh my god, she actually has magic, but then like, it just
It's very pick and
It's
choosy.
weird.
Yeah, it's very pick and choosy. I think the university looks cool. It's very cool set.
very Harry Potter meets Wonka.
Yes.
That's how this movie felt
Yes.
visually. Like the
Harry
new
Potter
Wonka.
meets Wonka is exactly how this movie felt.
Mhm.
When they get to the Emerald City, I don't want to talk about plot. There's a whole like animal subplot where like animals are being thrown in cages and like they're just going back to being animals because animals can talk in this universe, like
yeah, I
the
like
Cowardly
that.
Lion, I
Yeah.
guess. And Peter Dinklage is a goat, voices a goat man.
You-
Yeah.
It's
And the
It's-
animals are all losing their ability to talk, and that's like Elphaba's motivation to
'cause
want
she loves
to go
the goat
see the
teacher
wizard.
guy.
Because she's like, everybody thinks like, oh, she'll just not want to be green anymore. But she's
Yeah,
like,
we should have done we explain it to JJ. I didn't even think about it.
I mean, we kind of are, you know.
Like,
But-
and the goat is like they arrest the goat teacher.
yeah, because animals aren't allowed to teach anymore.
And there's this big they try to make a Schindler's List over the top. They're kicking the door in and they're dragging the goat away and he's bowing and the
There's
kids
like-
are crying.
There's
and-
like the chalkboard like flips over and it's like you shouldn't be seen or heard, and it's like what the fuck is that?
you get like all of a sudden it's weird.
I didn't know what the animal plot was. Is that from the
I guess it's from the
musical?
musical? I don't know.
I get that it's her motivation for like.
And
wanting
again, if
to
you're
see
watching the
wizard,
review, you're
but-
watching it for people who didn't watch the musical. And we did that on purpose because we wanted to kind of have a movie perspective.
This was
not
like
a-
the Solo of Wizard of Oz movies. You know, she has to get all her
Yeah.
MacGuffins. Like, here's the hat, and here's the,
It was.
the cloak,
It
and
was.
here's your broom, and
But the problem was they undo a lot of the original because
Yeah.
the wizard in the original story, at least in the movie, he's aloof. He's not evil. He's just
well, I think
kind
this
of
one's just being manipulated, right? Jeff Goldblum plays it weird.
he plays it like he's kind of on board with it though, and he's like,
Yeah.
I want to rule, and I need every good person needs their arch enemy. You know, it's just like it doesn't come off like that in the original. He just seems like a bumbling ass who managed to be in charge because no one has ever seen someone fall from the sky. So they just said,
You must
now
be a
he's like,
wizard.
you know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
know he's working with Michelle.
Michelle Yeoh.
Yo, yes, I did have her name right before.
Oh, okay.
You're like Yao, Michelle Yeoh.
JJ's like, none of those names are ringing any bells.
Michelle Yeoh. She's in a bunch of shows.
No, the cast is great. Goldblum,
Yeah.
I liked. I still don't think he gets enough screen time.
Yeah,
Last-
Goldblum was weird because the second they get to the Emerald City and talk to the wizard, he does like the theatrics, and then it's like, oh, it's you guys, and immediately drops it. And then he takes him into like a miniature version of Oz,
Yeah.
and they're like trying to.
And Glinda just happens. Let's go with yellow on the
They're
brick
trying to
road.
pick the color of the road, and they're like, what about red? No, green.
Ruby Road.
No, purple.
They go by yellow, and Glinda goes, "Wait, go back.
Go back one. I'm like, it's the solo of Wizard of Oz
it
movies.
is.
I'm
It was
like,
bad.
does anybody need this? But none of that was probably in the musical. That was probably just for the movie, right? Like
I feel like it.
picking the color of the road.
At least like that. Like that was like ham-fisted exposition. It was painful.
Oh.
It was painful.
They're like, we cooked with this scene, guys. I'm like, no, you really didn't. I'm like, it could have shaved 5 minutes off the runtime. Like, we didn't need to be in this theater for 2 hours and 40 minutes, which I walked in 30 minutes late, caught up by other means, but we won't talk about that. And the fire alarm went off. Probably 2 minutes before Defying Gravity, before the climax of the film, before the last little bit, because they go to the wizard and they're like, read from the spell book, and she reads from the spell book, and all the monkey guards get wings, because winged monkeys.
Yeah,
Because
the
we got to see how that happens.
Yeah, the flying
they can't
monkeys,
just
yeah.
already be flying monkeys.
Which can Universal not buy
This monkey
the
guard-
CGI from Fox?
This
to do?
monkey guard really yearned for. He sits outside and looks at birds,
Yeah.
and-
we even got
and he yearns
backstory
for the sky.
We got a backstory. for
micro
the-
backstories for the
for the monkeys.
Wow.
This monkey in particular likes birds, so I'm gonna make them all fly.
And they make you think the monkeys are gonna hate her for giving them wings from reading from the spell book, but it freed them, so they follow her because now they all can fly.
Fuck, sorry. I just disassociated because that was so bad what you just said.
The end, to me, the end makes the entire thing fall apart. Because I was like semi-enjoying it as like what it was for what
I
it
think
was.
as a finale, as a climax, it's good. But like,
It's better than leaving us like Fast and the Furious, where he
Yes.
goes to hug his son and the screen goes black, and you're like, what is happening? But like she becomes like rocket-powered super witch on her broom, and she does the solo, and it's like insane, and like it goes pure CGI, and then
yeah, she does the Black Adam where she's
Yeah.
like flying like at the screen or whatever. Like, yeah,
I noticed that they did
Defying
that
Gravity's
effect.
great, and she sang it great, but like it just feels so unmotivated. Especially, and we're not talking about the musical.
Right?
We're talking
no.
about the film.
The film.
Wicked. Right. It just felt.
It felt like a lot of garbage to get to the parts that people like. To me,
Yeah.
half-assed.
like you skipped over the things I actually wanted to see just to get to the next song, and they skipped through most of the entire movie just to. It feels like get to the
Yeah.
Defying Gravity.
because
part.
like Ariana Grande she's not good in this.
she's great vocally.
Singing, but like she's acted before. She
She
was a
got the
kid
most
actor.
laughs though. Anytime she did anything on the screen, everybody in my theater was like, ah, ha, ha, ha. Like,
It's just because she's super popular. I feel like it's like one
Yeah.
of those things like when we work at the club. Like if somebody's like, I know that name,
it's a big name.
I'm going to laugh at them.
It's not funny. It's
not
not
funny.
funny. It's not funny. Yeah.
Like what's her name? The witch.
Elphaba.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Elphaba. She was great. She was
Yes.
probably the best actress in
I
the
want her in
entire-
more things.
Yeah. But like that's what it felt like. It felt like an acting clinic, and she was dragging Ariana Grande
Who else
around
could have
with her.
been? Glinda, though.
Yeah,
I don't see anybody else in that role.
You're right.
And then we're
Who can
treading on
sing
like,
and I know.
was Taylor Swift going to be in the fucking
No,
movie?
no,
No.
The
veto.
movie would have made $300 million more this weekend if she was in the movie.
Yeah, but Taylor
Almost
Swift
guaranteed.
Probably definitely can't act. Like
No.
Ariana Grande was not good, but Taylor Swift would have been.
She's at least
probably.
had acting
Yeah.
background. I don't think since Nickelodeon, but definitely has acted. Yeah.
Yeah, I really wanted to like this.
Did you?
I did. No, I did because remember the trailer at the Super Bowl
Yeah.
earlier this year? I was like, this
Yeah.
actually doesn't look bad.
True. I think that was the consensus between us. It didn't look bad.
It didn't look bad,
Yeah.
and then they saved Jeff Goldblum until the last 25 minutes of the movie.
I didn't know it was part 1 of 2 back then, though.
Oh,
I thought it was
true.
one movie.
True. Also
So,
true.
That changes my rating.
You're right.
That changes my opinion.
That's
I'm
true.
like, we got to wait a year to watch this bitch die? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, and like they're painting her as the good guy.
What?
So
She's
I'm saying
just
they're
gonna get a bucket.
undoing.
They start this movie with the witch is dead. They can't then
they're
change
celebrating.
the plot. Like, and Glinda's celebrating, and it's like, yeah, I guess we were friends, and it's
That's what
like,
I
you just
mean.
spent 2 hours telling us how best friends you are.
It's weird.
Like,
It's
and
weird.
how hard it was to separate.
And again, if this is like, I think it's not being conveyed right, because I bet you in the musical it's not as jarringly weird as it is for this.
It can't be, right?
It can't be.
There has to be some bigger thing that she gets pissed about, and then Glinda doesn't agree.
Has to be.
Because I
'Cause
can't
it's like-
imagine, like, because again,
Glinda's like, no, fuck those animals. Like, let's party.
right? In the original Wizard of Oz movie you saw, it's completely wrong. The wizard's actually super evil, and the witch was trying to help Dorothy the entire. Like none of that.
We're doing a Loki.
Right. It undoes everything. It undoes
Alpha Boki.
everything.
Yeah. And I don't get, if you're gonna change it, you can't, because it's a classic. You can't
Yeah.
change the ending where she dies.
No.
And it's like, is it supposed to be sad when she dies? Because it's like,
Yeah, you're
she's the
supposed to-
villain. She's the bad guy.
It's supposed to make you watch the first original movie differently, but then again, like with that goes against the entire.
But then you're ruining Wizard of Oz. Because now it's like, that's like taking Darth Vader and making him a good guy for 3 movies. You know?
Yeah.
I'm like, you can't do that. We already know he's Darth Vader and he's
Yeah.
the biggest villain and he's the Wicked Witch of the West.
Yeah.
In the 40s, that was your bad guy.
Yes,
like
it
that was
was.
your Thanos.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't undo, even if it's in the books. Like I know that this Wicked book was written like 29 years ago or whatever, and I don't know how it works for
But Wizard of
canon.
Oz is like
but like
almost
Wizard of
100
Oz.
years
That's
old.
what I'm saying. Like Wizard of Oz it's like got to be more than 100, I think. At
The
this
book.
point. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
original. Yeah.
So to me, this is like I don't care what sequel. I don't care. It undoes the point of the original story.
I don't want to like the Wicked Witch
Right.
of the
She's a
West.
monster.
No, and now I do.
So
And
now
I'm
it's
like,
like-
now I don't want her to die.
Oh, so the whole time she
Like-
was just like unhinged because she got screwed over, and the reason she wanted the shoes is because she was going to go back and like murder Glinda and the wizard because they screwed her.
Right.
But she did it at all costs to kill like innocent people and their
Animals,
dog, and
yeah.
like, but she likes the animals, so why would she try to take Dorothy's dog? You know what I mean?
know.
Like
It's-
it's too many.
Oh yeah,
It's
that is weird.
It's
it messes up the original movie.
Yeah. And we see Dorothy, Cowardly Lion, and Tin Man and Scarecrow. They're all walking down the path.
We're gonna get the Wizard of Oz in the next,
The next movie will cover Wizard of Oz
but from a different perspective.
from the witch's perspective. See? And it's like, but it's just Wizard of Oz. And it's like, guys, we could have skipped all this and just remake Wizard of Oz.
I know.
You know?
I don't disagree. I'm gonna give this just based on performances and visuals.
Yeah, the visuals are
alone.
great.
It's a beautiful movie.
It's a
Yeah.
good looking movie.
Yeah, minus the monkeys.
Yeah, they look.
Couldn't believe how bad they look.
Yeah.
Like, hey, 20th century, hey, the Planet of the Apes models. Can we just? How much would that cost? Seriously.
Monkeys and Gladiator look better.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we're gonna take those models. We're gonna put like blue and pink and purple on them. Okay, perfect. And they would have saved millions of dollars in CGI.
Yeah.
Because it looks bad.
Yeah.
But the rest of it looks good. I'm gonna give it a 6.
Okay, I'm a 5.
Okay.
I did not enjoy my time. I was with somebody. They almost fell asleep. Yes. They went to the bathroom and came back and were like, this movie sucks. And we left after the fire alarm. Because we're like, we're not staying for that.
damn fire alarm.
And like the guy, we like passed a guy leaving and he's like, I hope it's just a drill. I'm like, it's not a drill, buddy.
No, that was someone trying to
Like,
save us.
Movie
from our
theaters do
experience.
not just, I pulled the fire alarm.
Get out!
It wasn't a fire alarm, it was a bad movie alarm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
man.
Different sound, slightly different.
Sorry if we completely shat on it, but it wasn't great. I didn't like it. Not a
Yeah.
fan.
6 and a 5.
I can wait for the second one.
I can wait. All right. Yes.
Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 2
Of 3.
of 3. We get the third one, 2025. They're taking
March,
the
I
holidays
believe.
off. No, it's got to be earlier than that, right?
Spring, it says.
Really?
They got to have enough time to lead into the movie also, but not too much
When does the
time.
movie come out? Summer?
Summer.
Okay. All right. So